If I had a daughter, these are the 16 harsh truths about men I'd tell her the moment she started showing interest in a guy. Why? Because too many women go through years of unnecessary heartbreak, wasted time, and bad relationships simply because no one told them these things when they needed to hear them the most. This isn't about being cynical. It's about protecting your heart, raising your standards, and making sure you attract the love you truly deserve. So, let me share these truths that I'd give to my daughter and to you. Number 1. You are the prize. Never chase him. The first truth I want you to know is this. You are the prize. Never chase a man. If a man wants you, he will pursue you consistently. You don't need to do the work for him. If he's genuinely interested, he'll put in the effort to get to know you, spend time with you, and show you how he feels. Many women make the mistake of trying too hard, texting the first time and all, planning all the dates, bending over backwards to make the man like them. And let me tell you something, chasing a man only lowers your value. It sends the message that you believe he's the prize and you're not worthy of being pursued. But that's not true. A man values what he works for, and if you make it too easy for him, you rob him of the opportunity to appreciate you. Your job is not to convince him that you're worth it. Your job is to know your worth and let the man recognize it. Here's the bottom line. If you're chasing him, you're putting yourself in a position of weakness, and a man who's truly into you will never let you chase him because he'll already be showing up. The right man will always meet you halfway, sometimes more. So, hold your head high, live your life, and remember, you are the prize. Number 2. Words are cheap. Believe his actions. Here's a truth that will save you from a lot of heartache. Words are cheap. Men know how to say what you want to hear, and they'll tell you you're beautiful and that you're different from anyone they've ever met, and that they can see a future with you. Now, if a man says he loves you but doesn't make time for you, well, his actions are telling you the truth. If he promises to change but keeps repeating the same mistakes, his promises are empty. And a good man will let his actions always speak louder than his words. And he'll show up when he says he will. He'll keep his promises, and he'll make you feel loved, secure, and appreciated. Not just with words, but with consistency and effort. Don't fall for the sweet talk alone. Pay attention to how he treats you. Does he follow through? Does he show you that you matter through his effort and reliability? If his actions don't align with his words, believe the actions every time. A man who values you will show you, not tell you how much you mean to him. And if you're consistently left feeling confused, disappointed, or neglected, stop listening to his words. Actions are where the truth lies. Number 3. A man who wants you will never risk losing you. A man who truly wants you will not risk losing you. He'll protect what he has with you because he knows your worth. And that doesn't mean that he'll be perfect. He'll make mistakes like everyone else, but he'll take accountability and make an effort to fix things. And if a man values you, he won't neglect you, take you for granted, or repeatedly hurt you. He will treat you like someone precious because he knows you're not someone he can afford to lose. And on the other hand, if he's careless, inconsistent, or dismissive of your needs, well, that's a sign he doesn't value you enough. And when a man risks losing you by ignoring your boundaries or making you feel small, he's telling you how little he's willing to fight for you. Don't ignore that. Here's the harsh truth. A man who's genuinely in love with you will act like it. He won't need to be reminded of your worth. If you're constantly feeling unseen, unheard, or undervalued, don't stay. Walk away with your dignity intact. A man who values you will never gamble with losing you. Number 4. I'm not ready means he's not ready for you. Now, if a man says, I'm not ready for a relationship, believe him. Don't overthink it. Don't try to convince him otherwise. He's not confused, and he's not asking you to wait. He's telling you the truth. He's not ready for you, and nothing you do will change that. Women often hear this line and think maybe he just needs time. If I stick around and prove how great I am, he'll change his mind. But here's the reality. A man who wants you will make himself ready. He won't need convincing. He won't need time to figure it out. And when a man says he's not ready, take his words at face value. Don't waste your time waiting for someone to change. You cannot force a man to want something he doesn't want. Staying in the hope that he'll come around will only lead to disappointment. You deserve someone who shows up fully, someone who's excited about building a life with you, and don't settle for half-hearted effort. A man who's ready for you won't make you wait. Number 5. Consistency is key. Mixed signals are a no. Consistency is everything in a relationship. A man who cares about you will show up consistently. He won't leave you guessing. He won't disappear and reappear when it's convenient for him. And his actions, effort, and communication will align every time. Mixed signals are a red flag, and if a man is hot and cold, texting you nonstop one week and then disappearing the next, well, he's either not serious about you or he's keeping his options open. Either way, you deserve better. Here's the truth. Inconsistency is a form of rejection. It's just delivered slowly. If a man is truly into you, he will not leave you confused. You won't have to wonder where you stand because he'll make it clear through his actions. Stop overthinking mixed signals. If he's inconsistent, take it as a sign that he's not the one for you. A good man will show up in your life like clockwork, reliable, steady, and clear about his intentions. Love doesn't feel like a guessing game, and if a man makes you question his feelings, well then he's not the right one for you. Number 6. A man's effort early on is his best effort. The early stages of dating are when a man puts in his best effort to win you over. This is when he's on his A game, showing up as the best version of himself. Now, if his best looks lazy, inconsistent, or careless, take that as a sign. Many women ignore red flags in the beginning. They tell themselves he's just comfortable or he'll put in more effort once we're serious. But that's not how it works. If a man is already showing low effort at the start, it will only decline over time. Effort matters, and a man who values you will plan thoughtful dates, communicate regularly, and show you that you're important to him. If he's not doing that now, when he's supposed to be impressing you, don't expect him to do it later. Here's the truth. Relationships don't get better over time. They start with a lack of effort. Don't settle for a man who gives you crumbs of attention. You deserve someone who's invested in you fully. And if he can't step up in the beginning, walk away. Number 7. If he wants you, he'll find a way. Here's something I need you to hear loud and clear. If a man wants you, he will find a way to be with you. It doesn't matter how busy he is, how stressful his life might be, or how complicated things are. When a man values you, he will make time for you. Men are not as confusing as we often think. When they care, their actions reflect it. They text, call, make plans, and prioritize you without hesitation. You won't need to chase him, remind him, or ask him to step up. He will do it naturally because he wants you in his life. On the other hand, if he's distant, inconsistent, or full of excuses like "I've been so busy," well, take that as a sign. He's not prioritizing you. And when a man isn't prioritizing you, he's showing you where you stand in his life. Don't take it personally. It's not about your worth. It's about his level of interest. Here's the truth. A man who wants you won't leave you guessing. He won't disappear or act too busy to see you. If you're constantly left feeling like an afterthought, well, it's time to move on. The right man will find a way to show up for you every time. Number 8. A good man respects your boundaries. Boundaries are a reflection of your self-respect. They define what you will and won't accept in a relationship. And here's the truth. A good man will respect your boundaries without an argument, guilt trips, or manipulation. Every man will test boundaries, though. It's human nature. But the difference lies in his response. A good man, when you set boundaries, will take it seriously. He won't push or cross the line. He won't make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. Instead, he'll respect you more about being clear about what you deserve. On the other hand, if a man repeatedly ignores or challenges your boundaries, it's a sign of disrespect. Don't overlook it. A man who doesn't respect your boundaries doesn't respect you. Setting boundaries isn't about being difficult or demanding. It's about honoring your values, your time, and your emotional well-being. And if a man truly cares about you, he'll see your boundaries as a sign of strength, not as an obstacle to overcome. Never lower your standards to keep a man in your life. If he can't respect your boundaries, let him go. A good man will honor them without question. Number 9. Men show who they are early. Believe them. One of the most important lessons you can learn is this: men show you who they are early on. Pay attention. In the first few weeks or months of dating, you'll see clues about his character, values, and how he'll treat you in the long term. How does he treat waiters, cashiers, or strangers? Does he keep his words, or is he flaky? Is he respectful, honest, and kind, or does he make excuses, lie, and cross boundaries? These early behaviors are red flags or green lights that you need to pay attention to. Women often ignore warning signs because they're focused on the good parts. They think he's great in so many ways, he's just, has a few flaws, or he'll change once we get serious. But here's the truth: he won't. The man he is now is the one he will continue to be. Don't fall in love with his potential. Fall in love with who he is right now, or walk away. If his behavior gives you pause, trust your instincts. People rarely change unless they want to, and you can't force that change. When a man shows you who he is, believe him the first time. Number 10. A man who truly cares will bring you peace, not anxiety. Love should bring peace into your life, not chaos. A man who truly cares about you will make you feel safe, secure, and valued. You won't feel anxious, insecure, or constantly unsure about where you stand. If a man's behavior leaves you feeling anxious, if you're overanalyzing his text, wondering if you'll hear from him, or feeling like you're walking on eggshells, well, that's not love. That's emotional chaos. And a healthy relationship shouldn't feel like that. A good man will never play games. He won't leave you guessing. He won't make you feel like you're in a competition with another woman or like you're constantly chasing for his attention. Instead, he'll bring stability. You'll feel calm and secure knowing he's consistent, honest, and reliable. Here's the truth: the right man will add to your life, not complicate it. If a relationship feels like an emotional roller coaster, it's a sign that something's wrong. Love doesn't need to be turbulent to be real. Never settle for someone who brings you anxiety. You deserve someone who makes you feel loved, secure, and at peace. Number 11. You deserve effort. Never settle for less. Effort is a sign of care. If a man values you, he will put in the effort to win you over and keep you. He'll call you when he says he will, plan dates, and show up for you consistently. Effort doesn't mean grand gestures or expensive gifts. It means showing you that you matter through consistent actions. If you feel like you're doing all the work, texting first, planning everything, and holding the relationship together, well, it's time to step back. A healthy relationship requires two people putting in equal effort. And if you're carrying the whole weight, well, something is wrong. Here is the truth: you deserve someone who matches your energy. Someone who makes you feel appreciated, not overlooked. And if a man isn't putting in effort, don't make excuses for him. Stop settling for the bare minimum. Effort is how a man shows his intentions. If he's not showing up for you now, he never will. Don't stay in a relationship where you're doing all the heavy lifting. You deserve a partner, not a project. Number 12. You cannot love a man into loving you. The hardest truth to accept, but it's also the most important. You cannot love a man into loving you. You cannot fix him, save him, or change him into the partner that you want. Many women fall into the trap of thinking, if I love him enough, he'll see how amazing I am and commit. But love doesn't work that way. If a man doesn't choose you fully, nothing you do will change that. Your kindness, patience, or sacrifices won't make him stay. You deserve someone who loves you as you are, without conditions. Someone who sees your worth and chooses you willingly. And if a man can't give you that, walk away. Staying will only drain you. Loving someone who doesn't love you back will break your heart. It's not your job to prove your value or convince someone to choose you. Real love isn't something you earn. It's something that's given freely. Walk away from the man who can't love you fully. By leaving, you create space for someone who can. Number 13. A man's best behavior is temporary. Watch for consistency. Here's something you need to know. A man's best behavior at the start of the relationship is temporary. In the beginning, he's putting his best foot forward. He's doing everything he can to impress you, and that's normal. But over time, the effort phase fades, and his true character starts to show. This doesn't mean men are deceptive. It's human nature. We all show our best selves at the start. But what matters most is consistency over time. If his effort, respect, and kindness continues as the relationship grows, that's a great sign. But if he starts to pull back, neglect you, or change for the worse, believe that version of him. That's who he truly is. Pay attention to patterns, not one-time gestures. A man can send flowers once, but if he forgets your feelings repeatedly, that's what matters. A man can plan a perfect date early on, but if he's lazy and inattentive later, that tells you everything you need to know. The early days of a relationship should not be your standard. Look at how he behaves as the newness wears off. That's where you'll see the truth. A man's consistency is his real character. Number 14. A man who can't be happy alone isn't ready for you. It's easy to fall for a man who seems like he needs you. But here's the harsh truth. A man who can't be happy with his own isn't ready to be in a relationship. If he jumps from relationship to relationship, uses you to distract himself from his problems, or depends on you for his happiness, you'll eventually feel the weight of carrying him. That's not love, that's codependency. You are not responsible for fixing his loneliness or healing his brokenness. A healthy man brings wholeness into a relationship, not emptiness. He's confident, fulfilled, and content in his own life. He doesn't need you to complete him because, well, he's already complete on his own. Instead, he'll want you. He'll choose you to add to his life. Here's what you need to remember. You are not his therapist, his escape, or his solution. Number 16, the right man will add to your life, not diminish it. Relationships are supposed to make your life better. The right man will add value to your life. He'll bring love, peace, support, and happiness. And if a man is causing stress, drama, or making you lose yourself, he's not the right one for you. Love should not feel like a burden. It shouldn't drain you, exhaust you, or leave you feeling small. A man who truly cares about you will want to see you thrive. He'll support your dreams, celebrate your wins, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. On the other hand, if you find yourself constantly sacrificing your joy, energy, and sense of self just to be in a relationship, well, that's a problem. Relationships require effort, but they shouldn't cost you your peace. Ask yourself, does this man add to my life, or does he take away from it? The answer will tell you everything you need to know. If you can take anything away from this, let it be this. You are valuable, you are worthy, and you never have to settle for less than you deserve. The right man will rise to meet you. He'll respect you and show up for you, and bring peace into your life, not confusion, drama, or heartbreak. It's not your job to chase love, fix someone, or convince a man of your worth. Love yourself first. Set your standards high and trust that the right man will see your value, treat you accordingly, and exceed your standards. If you found these truths helpful, well, let me know in the comments. And if you want more advice like this, subscribe and stick around. Remember, you don't need every man to like you, just the right one. Take care of your heart and never forget your worth.